By the way, can we talk about how Drake is undeniably great? Like, you just can't deny how great Drake is. And I'm not saying the music, I'm just talking about the accomplishments, straight up.
Yeah, if we're talking about it from an accomplishments perspective, I think, like, just from an objective standpoint, it can't be denied how big of an artist he is and how respectable that is. That's something that, even as someone like me personally, I feel like I say this about quite a few artists we talk about, but I'm not the biggest Drake fan myself. I think a lot of the stuff he puts out, just the sound isn't for me. Obviously, that's something that's a bit difficult to say with Drake because he has such a variety of different sounds. But generally, as an artist, I'm not the biggest fan. But when it comes to what he's done and how big he is as an artist, that's something I can always respect.
Man, the guy is literally like not one of the biggest rappers in the planet, right? I'm talking musicians. Like he's so recognized. And I think it kind of makes sense, but the bigger you are, the more hate you're going to get. The more kind of like opinions there are going to be of you because you're just at the top.
Yeah, everyone knows who you are. Everyone can chip in.
Exactly. Everyone who, listens to music just knows who Drake is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at his Spotify right now. As of recording this, he's got 50 million monthly listeners right now.
That is insanity.
That's more than someone as big as Eminem. Eminem has like 30 million right now. And he just dropped an album. Well, maybe the numbers haven't fully updated yet for his new album, but still, at the moment, Drake has more monthly listeners than Eminem. That's how big Drake is right now.
Absolutely, man. Drake is a hit artist. Like, his hits really fuel kind of like how big he is, especially like right now, right? And those numbers are kind of like, it's the hits, man. Like, Drake is a machine when it comes to that.
Man, he can drop anything and it's going to chart. Even something like Grease, which sounds like a Weeknd song straight up, that charted like really high. And I think it's a catchy song, but it straight up sounds like The Weeknd. But yeah, that charted way high up on the charts. He can just drop anything at this point and it's gonna hit the charts. And you know what I really respect? I respect what he does with that platform, because Drake could pretty much hop on any artist's song or like do a song with an artist that he likes, and he's gonna propel their career in some way.
Look at Lil Durk, man. Literally, Laugh Now, Cry Later was kind of like the driving force of his name. Like, man, Lil Durk has been grinding for years, and I feel like this is like the big moment for him, right? And it was thanks to Drizzy.
That's the thing, and it's crazy because his contribution to that song was very short, but the song was so big that it puts that name in front of so many people. And if they get some of the lines from that stuck in their head, they're like, okay, maybe I'll go check out some more Lil Durk if they haven't done so already.
5 minute trench, relax.
Please do not play that Little Boy in the Club because
we do not listen to rats. Ooh, there we go.
Exactly. So like everyone, I feel like everyone's just, there's a lot of people walking around quoting that lyric all the time, and that came from being on such a massive Drake song.
Right. And, the platform, right, that gives Lil Durk gets from being on that song is like, it's going to feed into his music automatically. And I remember, what was it? I made a video on this, but, I talked about how Lil Durk like jumped from 6 million Spotify listeners, monthly listeners, 6 million Spotify monthly listeners, that is, right? And then I think he jumped to like 18 and like in the matter of days, man. Crazy. Like the impact of, because that song got like, it had like 50 million, 60 million streams in like the first week. It's insane. Like it was huge.
So his numbers like jumped right up after that song? Yeah,
like skyrocketed like crazy. At the moment it's sitting at 340 million streams on Spotify. And I'm like, I have that song on rotation, man. And it just comes back to, again, like, you kind of like have like a different opinion of Drake, right? And hey, Drake personally is kind of like like these last 2 years, kind of like a hit or miss for me personally, right? But I am a Drake fan. Like I would for sure 1,000% consider myself a Drake fan.
Okay, well, just out of curiosity, what would you say your favorite Drake project is?
I'd say for sure Thank Me Later.
Okay, nice.
That's how I got into him, really. I found him through, the Young Money. He was kind of like signed to Young Money, and, Lil Wayne, brought him to the forefront. But the first Drake project that I like really got into, right? Like the project that like made me like a fan is definitely Thank Me Later. And man, just looking back on, how far he's came. Like Drake has really, man, he's been doing this for like 10 years consistently. Like he's been going strong. That's the thing about Drake. He's been going strong this whole time.
Yeah, that's crazy because if you look back at Thank Me Later, like that project dropped like 10 years ago, that still had hits on it. Like it had Over, it had Find Your Love, but compare that to how many hits he has now, and somehow he's just surpassed that by a crazy amount.
I mean, he just loves music, man. Like he's one of those guys who he just loves making music. And he always finds ways to, I'd say, make it interesting for himself, because I just feel like Drake is really enjoying the process, man. That's the thing about Drake. Like I've never seen him. I mean, obviously, he's Drake. Of course, he's gonna be smiling all day, right?
Yeah.
Man, if I was Drake, I'd be smiling all day.
A lot of reasons to smile, man. A lot.
That's so funny. But yeah. I mean, he's Drake at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, music-wise, man, like he's just enjoying the process. He's having fun with it. It's kind of like that Eminem conversation we had, right?
So I mean, basically, to sum up a lot of the stuff that we've said, like, no matter what my opinions are of Drake's music, whether I like it or not, I'm always going to respect him as an artist and what he can do for other artists, what he's already done for himself, but also how he can boost other people with the platform that he has. Something I hugely respect about him.
Absolutely. I feel like that's like the aspect of Drake. Like you can't really just deny the impact, man. Like the influence he has is insane. And again, he's like consistently been doing this.
Exactly, consistently. I mean, 10 years ago was Thank Me Later, like we said, an album that still had, like, it wasn't a small album, it had some hits. And he's just been growing and growing and growing since then. And he's got a new album coming in January. Every song from that will probably chart. So, yeah, he's on top of the game right now, honestly.
When is Drake not on top of the game? Real talk.
From a numbers perspective, like he stays there, man. Stays at the top.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.